Okay. Hey everybody. Welcome to Bead Table Wednesday. I'm Heather Powers, your host for today. I'm bead maker, jewelry designer, author, illustrator, and your creative muse every Wednesday. So hopefully you guys can hear me. Let me know. I have a new microphone. It's a big boy. I really hope it works. Let me know if you can hear me okay as soon as you jump on. In fact, that should be your first comment. I hear you. I hope you guys are doing good today. We're in the middle of a snowstorm, so definitely cozy and cuddly inside and just making beads here in the studio and getting lots of work done. Can you guys hear me good? Let me know. Hi, Rosalind and Bonnie. Welcome, guys. Glad you're here. Okay, maybe I'll turn this up just a little bit. How's that, guys? I can see the green mark of my microphone. Okay, it's a bit low. All right, how's that? Maybe I have to have it right next to me. I don't know. Hopefully that's good. What do you guys think? Is that better? Maybe I'll put it like, hello. Why is technology so hard, you guys? Why can't it just be easy? This is supposed to be a plug and play one. You just plug it in and it's good to go. So let me know. Can you guys hear me good? Can you hear me now? That's my big question for today. Well, hello, Anita, coming from us somewhere where it's nighttime. It's midday here. Yes, it's just crazy wintry today. I think we've got a foot of snow overnight, and that's the best time of day just to sit in and create and watch you Facebook videos and have fun. I have a really cute project for you guys today. It's a simple, fast one, and we're going to be making these earrings. I'm going to show you guys how to do this little wire link with some copper wire and add some little beads to it. It's very simple, very easy. You guys can do this. We're going to be playing with our ball peen hammer and a bench block and getting a little fancy with the wire. So that should be lots of fun. And this project is really only going to take a few minutes. For those of you who are members of my VIP party group, make sure you join us if you're not already. This is actually inspired by our color challenge for February that I'm going to be putting up here real soon. So you get a little sneak peek, a little preview of our color palette that we're going to be playing with for February. And if you guys don't know, for each month this year, I'm going to be having a color challenge. I'm going to put together, or find a color palette. I'm not putting it together. I'm going to find a color palette to inspire us for the month. You have the entire month to make a piece of jewelry inspired by the color palette that uses Humblebeads or beads from the Humblebeads shop, and enter it for a $50 drawing each month. And so Martha Patterson was our winner yesterday, and she has a little $50 shopping spree. And so that's it. I hope you guys can play along. It's tons of fun. Oh, I have to say hi, Soul. I miss you guys so much too. Definitely. That's my sister-in-law. Love you. Okay, so let's turn this around and let's get started with some wire work. We're going to be using bare copper wire is what I started out with. And I just antique the wire in a big bunch like this instead of doing each individual piece. And this is thicker 18 gauge wire. So I'm using 18 gauge wire, and this is bare copper wire that's been antiqued. So that's the main star of today's show. And I'm going to start out, I have 12 inches of copper wire, and I'm going to cut two 4-inch lengths for the bottom links. And then I have two 2-inch lengths of copper wire for the top links. Oh boy. Okay, let's see. I think I have my volume turned up as loud as it will go. guys hear me? Let me know. I might have to... Your volumes are all maxed out. Okay. Let me try the old microphone. One second. See if this works better. So some people can hear me just fine and some people are having trouble. Darn. I wish I knew what the answer was, you guys. You guys can hear me loud and clear, some of you, and some of you can't. I don't know. Oh, Elizabeth, you asked a fantastic question. Where do you get this type of wire? You can get this type of wire, they sell it at the craft stores. You may have to make sure. Here, guys, one second. Can you hear me a little better there? Let me know. So annoying. Yes, okay, yeah, I don't want to be soft. All right, let me know, you guys. Seems like the volume's up higher. Yeah, let me check the volume on. Yeah, my volume's all the way up on my Okay, good. All right, so you're in my face again, right below my face. So, okay. Thank you, guys. Okay, Elizabeth asked, where do you get this kind of wire? So, Elizabeth, I actually go to my local hardware store and pick it up at my local hardware store. That's the cheapest place to get copper wire, but you can definitely get it at the craft store too. And in any place that you buy jewelry supplies, you can check out and see if they have copper wire. The only thing you have to be sure is that it says bare copper wire, because there's some copper wire that have coatings on them and you can't antique them. They'll just always be bright, shiny copper wire. Or it could be colored copper wire that has a plating on it. So you want to make sure that it says bare copper wire and not raw bear, but you know, the other bear. Okay, so I got my 2 4-inch pieces of wire, and my fancy tool I'm going to use is a Sharpie marker. I grab a Sharpie marker to use as a little jig because everybody has a marker at their house. Oh, another great question from Michelle. She asked, what am I using to antique the wire? And I'm sorry, I don't have the bottle with me right here, but I buy Extended Life Liver of Sulfur Gel, Extended Life Liver of Sulfur Gel, or Extended Life Gel. Well, Liver of Sulfur Extended Life Gel. So it's a gel. The liver of sulfur is in a gel, and you just add a little bit of it to water, and then you can darken that way. And I will post a link of the liver of sulfur that I use. It's very easy to use. You don't have to warm it up or anything. You can just use it with warm water, and it's very easy. Of course, it still stinks like sulfur, but it's much easier than those little rocks and pebbles that used to be the only choice. So, all right, I'm going to take my 2 lengths of 4-inch 18 gauge wire, and I'm going to wrap them around my piece here, my fancy Sharpie marker. And I do them both at the same time so that I have 2 that are the same size and I'm not fighting to get them the same size. And now I'm going to trim off so that they're about a 1/2 inch on each side. Let me double check and make sure. Yeah, so you can see it's about a 1/2 inch on each side that's past the crisscross. So I'm going to do that on both of these. I'm actually just going to use this one as the guide for my other one, so that I'm cutting them off at the same size, just like that. Okay, and now I'm going to take my round nose pliers, and I'm going to grab the tip and roll this down until it touches the wire. And I've just made a simple little loop. And I'm going to turn that over, and I'm going to repeat the same process. I want to make sure I am in the same location each time I make these loops so that they're the same size. And so I have 2 loops on the end here. And I'm actually going to repeat the same step on both of these at the same time so that I don't forget where I had my loop each time. You can also, with your Sharpie marker, make a mark right here so that you know where you've put your wire each time, or there's also pliers that have marks on them already. Okay, so I have my 2 wires that look like little U's with little loops on the top of them. And I'm going to take the loops on the top and turn them side to side. And these are chain nose pliers, flat chain nose pliers. Okay, and I want these to be together, so I'm going to take one and just pull it slightly past the other one, and then put them back together. Repeat that on the other side because I want them to be as close as possible. So if they go past just a little bit, that'll help. Now I see one side is a little bit bigger, so I'm going to roll that side so that they're both the same. Now my little loop here, it's okay, but maybe it's okay. I'm going to leave it and look at it for a minute. I might need to readjust that a little bit before I start hammering. Okay. So just using the chain nose pliers, and I'm turning these little loops on their sides so that they're facing front and back instead of side to side. And I'm going to cross these over so that they sit closer to each other. And I'm liking that all the way around. This guy, there we go. You just have to manipulate it a little bit if you want to. So there I have my 2 wire frames that are ready to hammer. Okay, now I'm going to hammer. So this is where you are all going to wish that you couldn't hear me so well. So you might want to turn your volume down a little bit. I have a bench block here, steel bench block, my rubber piece of rubber that goes underneath the bench block. That helps dampen the sound a little bit. I'm going to stick this on my bench block with the 2 loops sticking over the side. I don't want my loops to get hammered on. Oops. When I hold my hammer, let me see if I can show you guys this. I'm always holding my hammer at the back of the hammer. You don't want to hold it up close here to the top. You want to hold it in the back and do a nice big swing. So that's what I'm going to do starting right now. You guys ready? And I'm trying to hammer evenly over the whole surface here on the front. I'm going to flip it over and hammer again. I'm holding on to the little loops as I hammer. And I'm going to turn this over. I'm going to do this several times. Okay, and now I'm going to concentrate just on the bottom part of the loop because I want this bottom loop to be fatter. I think I need a little bit more on that side. Okay, now just the bottom. And now I'm going to take the hammer and I'm going to hit it in different areas so that I'm hitting the side part of the hammer onto the metal to give it a little bit more texture. Okay, so there we go. Now I would probably go dark in this again, just because I like the nice dark piece. In this one, how's that looking? It's looking okay. It got a little flatter on this side than this side as I was hammering. You have to really make sure you're hammering both sides evenly, or the metal's going to distort and one side will look fatter than the other, or it'll look crooked. Okay, so these little guys aren't quite lining up right now, so I'm going to just take my pliers and manipulate them so that they're even. So it looks like this guy needs to be rolled down just a little bit more. Or no, they look pretty good. Try not to be too picky here. Okay, I'm going to pinch these guys here at the top so that they're a little straighter. All right, that looks good. Now I'm going to take my other piece of wire. I'm going to make sure I'm using my flush cutters, and I'm going to cut a nice straight flush cut. And this is the same 18 gauge wire. It's just the 2-inch piece that I saved. I'm going to make a big loop here. Then I'm going to grab the back of the loop. So I have the pliers inside the loop, and I'm going to pull my wire straight up so that my beads lay straight above the hole. Okay, and I have my 2 Humblebeads disc beads, and these are in the orchid color, so you can see they're the branch design with little flowery or snowflakey elements around them, whatever you feel like calling them. I'm going to use a small 6mm bead cap, and I'm going to have it face down so that it kind of covers the hole on my piece here. Candy, you can use any type of wire for this. If you use parawire, you might not be able to hammer it as much as I've hammered it, and that's why I use the copper, because I'm really hammering it flat. But you could do the same shape and just hammer a little bit. It may or may not flake off the coloring. You may or may not like the way it looks, and it may be a happy accident. So just give it a try with other kinds of wire and see what you think. I do recommend the copper wire though, the bare copper wire. Okay, so I'm going to stick on an O bead is what I have on here. So a little glass O bead, and then a 6x8mm check flower. And I'm going to trim it about, not quite a 1/4 of an inch, a little bit shorter than a 1/4 of an inch. I mean, 1/2 inch, sorry, not 1/4. It's like a 3/8 inch. And making a simple loop here. And then I'm going to open the bottom. And I'm going to stick on my wire. And I'm going to do the drops. So I'm going to grab one of each color here. And my forehead pins. And what I would do is I would do both of these pieces together first and make sure they were the same size before I did the whole earring. So if you're doing this at home, if you have the kit that I'll have on the website later today, or if you're just putting your pieces together, do both of your earring loops first, and then you can put it together. And Susan, Yeah, I think I can restock these bead caps. We'll need to update the website after the video here and put those in the website. Okay, now you can use your cutters and pliers, your chain nose pliers, to make simple loops. I'm just going to use my one-step looper here from Vintage. So I'm going to stick it on. I found that not putting them too close to the flower helps a little bit. So I have just a teeny hair of the wire above the flower. It gives it some room to move around. And these one-step loopers, this is the smaller 1.5 millimeter one, and you can find these at the Vintage website. Okay, I'm just gonna straighten up these little guys a little bit. Make sure they're closed nice and tight. Okay, now I have a oval jump ring that I'm going to use, and this is I think it's 6 by 9 millimeter is the size. And I use an oval to mimic the shape of the oval on my wire. And then I'm going to stick on my little dangles here. Close this jump ring nice and tight. And then I'm going to throw in my ear wire, and my earring is done. And that's as complicated as it gets. So I do recommend doing your 2 wire pieces, get them completely done at the same time so that they look exactly the same. If you guys have any questions, let me know. I'll be reading them. Stephanie, I do sell all of these little flowers. I have them all in stock in my shop. These are 5 by 6 millimeter bell flowers. So these are the smaller ones. They're 5 by 6 millimeter. And then the one that I used on top is the 6 by 8 bellflower. And then I have ear wires and these little flower bead caps all in my shop. And then we talked about where you guys can find the wire. My favorite place is my local Ace Hardware store. And so that's it. Simple, easy. You could do them in any color combination. We have lots of disc beads in my shop, and that's it, you guys. What do you think? So simple, so easy, really cute. They're a nice long earring. Let's see how long they are. They are, they're a little shy of 3 inches, but they're so lightweight. That's the great thing about polymer clay and wire, is you can make an earring that has quite a statement to it, but it's as light as a feather. And so one of the great benefits of using polymer clay in your jewelry designs. All right, that's it, guys. Very simple, very easy. Hope you guys can follow along. So sorry about the audio in the beginning. Hopefully I'll have it all figured out for next week. Oh no, for Friday. Oval jump rings, Sandy, look at limabeads.com for those oval jump rings. They're a nun design product. And so I know Lima Beads has a pretty extensive collection of nun designs. And that's it. All right. Okay. Thank you guys so much for watching today. Hope you had fun. I hope it was a nice little break from whatever kind of weather or day you're having. And don't forget to jump on over to the Humblebeads VIP party group. I'll be putting the February Color Challenge palette in there today. Yeah, I don't know about the mic. It's just driving me crazy. It was no problem for the longest time, and now it's a problem every time. I will have kits for these earrings, and they will be up at 2 o'clock today. I'm going to go put them on the website right away. And that's it, you guys. Thank you so much. On Friday, this Friday, no matter what, I am dedicated to being here for 3 p.m. I don't have anything going on this week. There is nothing that's going to stop me from being here and sharing new beads with you guys. I'll have new beads inspired by the color palette, and then I have a bunch of the Botanical Impressions pendants that I taught this last weekend. And you can still sign up for this class. It's just self-paced now. But I'll have some of these on Friday that were from the class and just samples that I had been making. So that's it. All right, guys, you take care. Have a great week, and I'll see you on Friday. Bye.